Welcome to the
Hello,
Granite
mate.
Zero Podcast. How are we?
Oh, you didn't know we were doing beers and stuff. You didn't tell me that.
I always have a Guinness, or
Hold
I
on.
used to have whiskey. I said this before. In fact, last week I used to have a whiskey, but I can't behave, so banned.
There we go.
There we go. Veterans can.
So maybe I should crack it.
Yeah.
There you go. It's a Tuesday night. Why not?
Why not? Happy days.
Cheers. Good health.
Cheers. Well, first up, thanks for giving me your time. I'm sure you're a fucking busy man.
Well, don't know about that, but been busier. But no, all is good, mate. Thanks for inviting me.
No. Well, well, funnily enough, it was a guy at work that sort of sent me on the path to finding you. Um,
All right.
Mr. Carl Lewis. He was
Oh yeah.
yeah, he said, have you heard of this? And I was like, I've heard of Veterans Can, yeah, but
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it too much. He went, nah, you should. And I was like, all right, I will. And
Yeah.
then
Nice guy, Carl. Does a lot of good work around my neck of the woods as well. So yeah, he's good lad. Good lad.
yeah, and I'm sure. Well, he's now become a listener of the podcast. So
Oh,
there you
has
go,
he?
Carl.
Big shout out. Don't say anything mean then.
He'll be happy with that. No, but oh, that being said, I love when veterans help veterans. So when to be fair, I first saw you with I've forgotten his name now. That's going to annoy me. The painter.
Kev.
That's it. Yeah,
Kev
Kev.
Wills. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one. I knew it was Wills, but I didn't want to like go Kev Wills, and then so I'll just stutter around his name. But yeah,
Yeah. No, he's a mega bloke, right? I mean, I first came across him. I think. Well, not I think, but he painted one of my mates who was killed in Afghan,
right.
and he needed to get that he was trying to raise money to get everything framed and stuff. So we had a bit of a platoon whip round and
Yeah,
chucked a few quid his way and got the picture framed and sent off to his family. And then from there it just led from one thing to another. And yeah, it was
yeah,
magic working with him.
yeah. So if I quickly, funnily enough, if I leave down for this, I actually got it in an auction for my charity football match. I need to get it properly framed because it'll tell me off. But I got this bad boy,
Yeah, magic.
and it's signed by Kevin, and it's also signed by Damian Lewis as well.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, I saw that.
So
I've got one of his on my wall as well.
yeah, so that's I need to get that
33rd,
properly.
33rd 76. That's one of his as well. There you go.
Yeah, I need to get that properly framed, otherwise he might give me a bit of a telling off for that.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, nah, fantastic work. But no, I loved seeing the veteran community actually working together, especially you know, we, everybody's got the old banter going on, but when veterans actually put their heads together, unstoppable, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, we're a powerful bunch, and I think that I bang on quite a lot about purpose and people wanting to get stuff done and actually being able to get stuff done, not just talking about it. And I think that, I guess, our generation of veterans has grown up in that space. And let's make things happen. And I think that's very much what's happened over the last sort of 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, it's fucking it's good work. But let's go all the way back to the start. So obviously, join the army. What made you go? I want to join the army. What was the thought process
Well,
behind that?
I grew up in Devon. My old man was a Royal Marine, served for 25 years in the Royal Marines as a DL. So I kind of always been around the green people. Uh, the next question is always, why didn't you join the Marines? I,
Why didn't you join the Marines?
I wanted I wanted to join the army. And funny enough, my dad's advice was to join the army. It's a bigger beast, more
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah, I get you.
I think particularly at that time, when before Iraq and Afghan had kicked off and everything was a little bit flat, it was still pretty Northern Ireland and Balkans heavy. So yeah, I sort of went to uni, did all that kind of stuff, drank myself stupid, and then thought, right, I don't want to get a proper job, so I'll go and join the army.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What'd you study at uni?
History, rugby, and beer.
Well, there's some very good subjects there, especially
Well, that's right. Yeah,
the
yeah.
latter
Some
two.
some are better at some than others.
Yeah. No, that's good. Um, so whereabouts did the world of the armed forces take you?
Well, when I first joined up, when I left Sandhurst, I went out to Germany. The battalion was out in Germany, so we did some warrior stuff.
Nice.
Went to Kosovo as a platoon commander, which was magic. Had a good platoon of 54 blokes, I think it was. Then got posted up to Catterick and did some time as a platoon commander and a company 2RC up there, which was good. Worked with a good training team. And actually, we were doing that job when the Twin Towers got hit and everything changed for everyone. So then I went back to the battalion, did a bit of a random job, and then transferred to Australia in 2004. So
I was going to say,
the next chapter.
You're a Julie. You switched
Yeah.
over. Was that an easy switch? Was it? I've not
I guess it was. I mean,
doing it.
It took a while, but I think that's for a variety of reasons, and it was something I asked whether it was feasible, whether it could be done, and the system came back and said yes, fill out these forms. So we filled out all the paperwork and did all the stuff, and actually by the time the offer had come through, we just got married. I didn't really want to go back out to Germany. We didn't have any kids or anything, so I thought, why not? Let's give it a whirl, and it was a 3-year contract initially. And I thought, well, why not? What's 3 years of posting effectively? So we did that and stayed there for 10.
Well, fucking hell. No, that's pretty fucking awesome. Was it pretty self-explanatory and straightforward just because it's in the Commonwealth, basically?
What, the process or
being
in? Yeah, the process is fairly straightforward.
Both.
Yeah, I mean the process was fairly straightforward. We backdoored it really. We got visas or citizenship straight away, or certainly I did. I think my wife had to wait 6 months. People chop off a leg sometimes to get citizenship for Australia. So that was relatively straightforward. There's obviously good relationship between the governments, or there was at the time. And then in terms of the job, the army's the same, right? It speaks a bit different. The Aussie army when I first got there was. I'd say it was immature. I think operationally it was fairly immature. That was again before Afghan and Iraq kicked off. So there was quite a lot that happened in East Timor over the preceding 4 or 5 years. So there's a bit of experience there. It was pretty dog eat dog because unless you deployed somewhere, then you were nobody, and you only sometimes deploy if the posting order works in your favour. So you ended up, there's a lot of below average people, I think, that have got themselves above average because they've been in the right place, right time.
Yeah, I get you. We had similar sort of things with when we first got to squadron, and it was you're still a sprog until you've done a tour. You can't wear a stable belt until you've done a tour. That was like our squadron sort of rules and things like that. And then we sort of took that on then. I was lucky in the fact that when I got posted to 15 squadron, basically the entire, or pretty much I would say about 80% of the lads I passed through basic training with all went to the same squadron. It was 15 squadron basically was sort of new. It was split between 2 separate squadrons that were, one was Rapier and one was a field squadron. They combined it and did a tour of Afghan, and then it was right. We need to fully man this properly, which is where most of my basic training lads we all went to that squadron.
Yeah,
which was good because joining a squadron with all your mates is pretty easy. You tend not to get picked on quite as much then. But then we carried it on as all traditions do. When the new lot came in, we were like, "Well, you lot are fucking sprogs. We've just done Iraq, so you know nothing."
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And then we got ready and went out to Kandahar. Our turnaround was ridiculous when I look back on it. I to be fair, I only did 5.5 years, but it was Iraq, then it was home for a couple of weeks, then it was pre-deployment, then it was Kandahar, then it was home a couple of weeks, then it was pre-deployment, then it was Bastion, and I was like, fucking hell. And to be fair, if I stayed in, when I pretty much, as I left, the lads were getting ready to go out again, and it was like, fuck me, that would have been 6 years, 4 tours. That's crazy. And I wondered why my missus was going a bit mental and like,
that's right,
and missing me.
Yeah, that's right. Now she's not, right? Now she's sick of you.
Yeah, now she's like, will you just fuck off to the garage? What was the banter like though? Because you must have got a fair whack being a Brit.
Yeah, of course I did, mate. But I guess you have pretty thick skin, and it's big brother, little brother stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nothing vindictive. There's a lot of piss take. I
Hmm.
mean, I got there in 2004, and England won the Ashes 2004-5. So I had the bragging rights. Although I was knackered because I had to stay up all night to watch it because it was in England.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, it was great. But there was no maliciousness, just a bit of banter, nothing more than that.
yeah. You got. I don't think there's banter on the earth better than military banter. Yeah, and it sort of
No, I agree.
it it goes everywhere. So it doesn't matter who you're deployed with. There will
Yeah,
be that element of, well, even if it's inter-country rivalry and then inter-service rivalry and then even inter-squadron rivalry and flight or platoon rivalry, it goes on. And yeah, I fuck it. That's one of the things that I missed the most. Really, was the camaraderie and what have you. I think that was one of the big things. And I think a lot of veterans miss that bit. I think that's where a lot of the problems stem from.
well, I don't disagree with you, but I think that it's easily replicated, right?
Yeah,
The reason we're talking now is because we both wore uniform once, right? We never
yeah,
met,
yeah.
but we're having a beer, and I think that's the beauty of it, and that's the power of it, and that's I spent the last sort of 6 or 7 years working in the kind of veteran space, and
Mm,
that's soon become clear to me, whether it's about the employment piece or whether it's just about the Veterans Can stuff. Actually, no one will bend over backwards for you like someone else that used to wear a uniform, whether you know them or
yeah, yeah,
not. No one will have that obligation to pick the phone up or go for a coffee or open their black book or help you out, and take the piss out of you at the same time, and that's magic.
yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of vets that hopefully will be listening to this will go, oh yeah, I will still have that, whatever it is that I've
Right.
lost, because everybody that's left is now a veteran. We're all fucking mates at the end of the day, or could be
And
potential mates.
all you've done is take your uniform off, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And get probably a slightly more shit job. And
100%. Well,
that's
for
that's
me,
that's the only that's the only
speaking for
difference.
me.
That's the only difference. And I think that when you're in the system and you as a human being create this whole unwritten or unseen thing about what the real world's like. And actually, people have been leaving the military for as long as they've been joining the military, and people have got on
Yeah,
okay. And the community on the other side of the wire is probably.
We'll do. Make sure, yeah. Right, that is charging. Cool. And we're back after a lovely technical difficulty, like we love on the Granite Zero podcast. Fucking hell.
Shit happens.
Mid conversation, dead.
That's it. I forgot what I was talking about then. Waffling about something.
It was a good waffle though. I think it was I think we were talking about um how community and whatnot stays whether you've got the uniform on or not, pretty much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that sort of probably will propel us into one of the main reasons why you're on the show. And that is Veterans Can. ...
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
it. The dots are important.
it is. And lo and behold, I got mine with me, my challenge coin.
Well, there you go. Me
But
too.
my
There we
other
are.
one has been passed on um,
Good man.
to a buddy of mine down the road, um, another fellow gunner. So he should be joining up,
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
and it grows and grows.
Good. Yeah. No, it's magic. Well, it's good. It's good. It's good to get people involved.
Oh, definitely. So what sort of was the catalyst behind you starting it up?
Being old and trying to do things differently and trying to do something that's not been done before. I guess I'd bounced around the charity sector for a while and often not worried, but just used to niggle me about why there's just too much negativity. There's too much sympathy. There's too many people feeling sorry for themselves.
Mm.
There's too many organisations wanting people to feel sorry for the veteran because to a degree that's where that's the oxygen that fans their flames, right? And when we established Veterans Can, it wasn't to say that that stuff doesn't exist. Of course it does. You know, we've all got lots of mates who have been through the ringer, and you know, have suffered as a result of their service. Full stop. But my position, or our position, is that the vast majority don't. And even those that do suffer will grow from that trauma and will grow from that experience and make themselves better human beings and better veterans or civvies, whatever you want to call it. So Veterans Can was all about, you know, countering that narrative to a degree. It's around inspiring people to say, actually, it's not that bad out here. And if John can do all right or Sarah can do all right, then why can't I do okay? You know, and whether that, you know, and success, it's not just about climbing a mountain, it's about running a marathon, it's about having kids, it's about moving, well, you know, whatever good looks like to you. And actually it's just grabbing hold of that stuff that we learned and the stuff that we did and the people that we met and the resilience that we built in uniform to say, you know, like I said, I'm no different, I'm just a bit older and I took my uniform off.
Yeah. You very rarely hear that side of things. As you said, there's a lot of I'll wholeheartedly say that I've been there because I've been a bit down on me luck at times. Hence why I started Granite Zero, which has its double meaning, which was obviously my call sign in Bastion, and then how I felt just before starting it. I was at Granite Zero, rock bottom.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of power in switching your mindset from feeling sorry for yourself to being positive and yeah, to use the the logo. Veterans can, and it's veterans can do fucking anything they put their mind to it.
And they do, you know, that sounds a bit weird, but you know, but I think again that's the other thing, that you know, there are people out there smashing life, and in the perfect world, from my perspective, that you know, they will turn around and say, I'm only able to climb this mountain or do whatever because I used to be in the Navy or whatever it is, you know, because whether you serve for 2 years or 32 years, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, that's had a massive impact on your life. And that has then created you know, created the person you are. It's created that mentality. It's created your, like we said at the start, your need to get up and go, your need to get shit done. And, you know, there are a lot of veterans out there doing, you know, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. We spoke about Kev Wills. You know, Kev is just an ordinary bloke. I'm sure he won't take offense by me saying that.
Yeah.
Who's done a pretty fucking extraordinary thing, right? You know, for his own reason. And even last week, I forget the name of the guy who killed himself a couple of weeks ago, whose mum is a mental health ambassador.
Yeah.
And Kev again just took it on himself to paint this portrait and send these things out, you know, and he doesn't do it for fanfare, he doesn't do it to show off, he doesn't do it, you know, he does it because that's what he does. He's good at it and he knows it's a powerful tool and a powerful skill that he's got. And he's just an ordinary bloke doing an extraordinary thing, and he gets embarrassed by it, he gets, you know, which is just speaks volumes for him.
Yeah, and there's so many like that. Even like Hugh from the HR podcast is just an ordinary bloke that decided to hit record on his podcast, and fucking what a job he's doing now. And
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, absolutely.
like Soldier on Coffee with double amputee, he's just doing what he can, and yeah, doing what veterans can.
Yeah.
Fucking that's gonna keep coming around, isn't it?
That's
Veterans.
right. Yeah.
No, I love it. I love it, and you know, I it's one of those that I sort of thought, why didn't I join that earlier, or why didn't I take notice of it earlier? Because as soon as I went on there and I put my little advert out about the podcast, I was like, Jesus Christ, there's quite a few people that would actually enjoy coming on the show to talk, and yeah, so
Yeah, of course.
DMs are all.
But I think one of the one of the challenges we've had, you know, we've only been around a year and a half, is about, you know, cutting through a lot of the white noise that's out there. Because I don't want us just to be another charity or another CIC or another self-help tool or another signposting organization. Because, you know, again, having worked in that space for a long time, they become part of the problem, not part of the solution, you know. And when you need help, you can't find help because there's too many people trying to point you somewhere or trying to give you help, and that becomes the challenge. So again, it's, you know, it's for us to try to create our little space, where we just chip away. You know, we're not going to turn the world upside down overnight, but we just chip away. We do good stuff for the right reasons, and we do it relatively quietly. You know, I think, but you know, it's a bit of osmosis. You know, you found out through, you know, through a variety of means what we do. You've taken your time to kind of suck that in and think, yeah, fuck, that's a good idea. Well, I hope that's what you think, and then you go and tell your mates, and you know, ultimately that's what we're about, right?
Yeah, and it's, do you know, and this is not blowing smoke or anything like that. There isn't a day now where I don't get a notification from the app that says so and so is joined. Like every day, there's a new veteran that's joined in, and it's like, oh, that's good. That I like that.
No, it's cool. It's cool. You know, and what I love, you know, from my perspective, is when we get a bloke from Denmark, or you know, we had a German guy join. You know, he's a German veteran who lives in the UK. His son's in the British Army. You know, obviously we've got Aussies, we've got Kiwis, we've got all the sort of, you know, the Five Eyes and the Commonwealth. But again, when you get and the wicked webs, you know, spreads and allows you to spread to say, look, we're not just, you know, we're not just about British veterans, we're about any veteran. We're not just about an Iraq veteran, we're about any veteran. But, you know, you as a human being and the shared bond that we've got, the fact that, you know, we all wore a uniform. And again, it's not about how long for, or where you went, or why you went, or what colour uniform, you know, or as long as you're a goodie, you know, it doesn't matter who you fought for. That's the bond, right? That's the beauty of it. And I think that's where, again, we've been able to be a bit different, and to say we're global is a bit grand, but we don't have to draw down funds from the British government or from a British charity to, you know, to make it work. And for, you know, what I didn't want for them to hamstring us to say, right, I don't know, the Legion say, right, you can have 20 grand, but you can only look after British veterans. Well, that, you know, that's not what we're about. And, you know, the independence we get through our model allows us to do what we want, ultimately.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's definitely good. And I like that whole a veteran is a veteran, and it doesn't matter if you've been to Northern Ireland, Falklands, or so on and so forth. Because I always have a
Or
bit.
nowhere, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always have a bit of banter with my dad. So my dad, he gets brought up a lot on this show. My dad did 22 years as a parachute jump instructor in the Air Force, and the medals he's got, that as we joke and say, are chocolate medals. And I did a remembrance weekend with my dad, and he was like, "Oh, I probably won't wear my medals because he lives from back home, which is in Hereford, and he's like, I feel a bit embarrassed." When all the soldiers and that in Hereford are rocking around with chest
Yeah.
flags, and then he goes, and you've got, and I joke and I go, well, one of mine is technically a chocolate one because I've got an ISAF medal on my set.
Yeah.
I thought, fuck it, I'm out now. I've done 3 tours. I want my 3 medals on there, basically.
Yeah.
So if people want to take the piss, don't care.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, well, you've got yours. Yours are proper combat medals. I've got chocolate ones. I'm like, Dad, you did 22 years service to at the
Yeah.
time Queen and Country. You then did another
Yeah.
20 years in the prison service for Queen and Country. I went, that's
Yeah.
nothing to like shy away from. That's a lot of.
No, that's right. And it's luck, right? You know, it's what generation you joined up in. You know, you don't choose the wars that do or don't happen. You don't choose the deployments that do or don't happen. And that doesn't make you any less a human being, you know. And I think that, and a prime example, you know, yes, you know, we take the piss. There's people on the outside, but you know, but the sensible and the truth is that during the Afghan campaign, every person in uniform was driving towards making Afghan happen. Whether you were filling up fuel for a bloody tanker in Portsmouth somewhere, or whether you were a bloke with a bayonet on the end of your rifle, you know, everyone was pushing stuff in the same direction. And if you walked into a recruiting office in the year 2000 and you ended up joining the RAF and not the army or whatever it is, that, you know, that's the way it goes, right? I don't, you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And you'll notice I haven't taken the piss out of the RAF regiment just once yet. So, you know,
Oh, I'm still
doing
waiting.
quite well for myself.
Still waiting. Give me 2 secs. I've just had a thing that's popped up saying my power source adapter is not charging. So I think it might be the plug. So give me 2 secs. I'm gonna get one of my daughters to come out with a plug. Uh, I'll phone her. She'll be like, "Why are you phoning me?"
That's right. Yeah.
Give me 2 secs. And then you can banter me. Come on.
Always on the phone, but they never answer the phone.
Always
Right?
on their phone until you want them.
Yeah.
Let's phone the long-haired colonel. She might actually answer. Hello? Right, don't be like that. Can you get the plug from Sophia's room and bring it out to me? The iPhone plug. Yeah. Big. Well, my plug has stopped working. I've got 3% battery and it's about to die on me again. All right. All right. Cheers. Bye. 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 Well, they're on their way.
Cool.
Technology, eh?
That's it.
Fucking Apple MacBook. Have a word with yourself.
Choose the battery as well.
Yeah. Mental. I've never had that before where it's gone, no, I don't fancy charging.
Yeah.
I think she's on her way out now. 2 seconds. Huh? Am I looking? Oh, so you don't come and jump out on me? Let's try that one. Wait, pinged. That's a good sign. Right. I'm going to keep an eye on that just to make sure.
Made a good noise.
It did.
All right, mate.
Anyway, let's continue. I'll let you know if it goes down any further. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck it out. But yeah, feel free to banter away at the old rough edge. Everyone else does.
All right, buddy.
Hit me with your best. I think
That's you know, in all seriousness, and that's it.
yeah, I think a lot of the time we easy target, I would say.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is what it is. But no, out in Kandahar, we actually served alongside the one of the Aussie regiments. I'm not sure which one. I just recognised the random camouflaged outfits that they had. Very strange.
Oh yeah, the spotty pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a giraffe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a bit odd, but there you go. It's all changed now. But yeah, I've got some somewhere, but not in here. But yeah, all good fun.
That's a strange one. That is definitely a strange one. Whoever thought that was a good idea needs to have a quiet word.
Yeah, who knows how, who knows what geek makes these things up, but yeah, there you go. It is what it is, right?
Yeah, definitely. So what sort of plans is in the forefront for Veterans Can? I saw something.
Yeah, like I said, we're looking to grow. We're looking to grow steadily. We're looking to grow internationally. Again, that sounds grand, but we've got a big partnership kicking off in Australia, which is great. So we've got kind of like a franchise or a partnership organisation out there who's doing their own thing and engaging the Australian veteran contingent, or should I say the veterans that are in Australia. And I think that's an important difference. We want any veteran that used to serve that now lives in Australia, doesn't matter where they're from, to feel part of the gang. So veterans in Australia, they'll be driving that. We've got some other sort of more loose connections in Canada and the States and New Zealand and stuff, so that's growing. So that's one thing. The grant piece is that's kind of like our delivery element. The grants that we're able to give out to individuals, we've given out grants to a couple of organisations so far, 2 or 3 organisations, including Kev, to get him out to Nepal in May. And that's the power. That means that you join the Veterans Can community, you donate some of your money. Some of that goes into making stuff happen because apps cost and websites cost and all. Not taking any wages or anything like that, but the operating costs. And we're not going to bullshit. We're not going to say 100% of what you give goes into doing good. Well, it doesn't. But as we say, 75% of what people donate, and whether that's through buying a beer or whether that's through subscribing to their membership, whether that's corporate donations that are made, that goes into the bucket, and then the community decide where those funds go. And it's a really simple voting mechanism. You've got you get your have a say coin that's got your number on it. When you go through the voting process, you insert your number and you vote on the program or the project or the initiative that you think deserves the $5,000, $10,000 grant or whatever up for grabs at that time. And I think that's pretty unique and pretty novel. As is the timing. And we had, when we ran the grant program last time, we had people that heard about Veterans Can or heard about the grant program, joined, put their submission in, got through the shortlist, got into the final, got onto the one show, got some TV time, and did or didn't, win the grant. But actually, there's a guy called Ash Stafford who runs Forces Brands. I don't know if you come across again, that was him. He's like, before that flash to bang, for one of that expression, that is pretty quick and pretty good. And that's what we wanted. That if you've got a business idea and you need some money to give yourself a boost, then go through the application process, go through the shortlisting process, go be voted on by your peers. And if your peers think you're a good bloke or you've got a good idea or both, then you'll get up, and then the next day you'll get $10,000 or $5,000 in the bank. And that's magic.
No, it's brilliant. It really is. And so many different veteran companies out there that can definitely benefit from that, and especially putting your case forward. Because not only putting your case forward would you be in line for getting the grant, but you're also getting eyes on you anyway. So you've put out,
yeah, of course,
I've got so and so business, and then you get all these veterans that are like, oh, fucking hell, what's that? So whether you get the grant or not, you're still creating traction.
Of course. And you also get, if you're running a t-shirt shop, there's 10 veterans that have already got a t-shirt shop, or there's 5 veterans that used to have a t-shirt shop and they made mistakes, and this is what not to do. And you've got veterans that then run something that supplies t-shirt, print, whatever. So you can then connect that and say, well, actually, we're in the same club, we're members of the same gang. I want to start a t-shirt shop. I've spoken to 4 people who have already done it, 2 people that are doing it now, 1 person that builds websites, 1 person that does distribution, and they all used to be in the military. Well, there's magic, right? And if you're going to come together and actually, people talk about collaborate, but if you're actually going to do that properly, why wouldn't you do that with someone that you've got something in common with?
Exactly. Why would you choose? You may be a stranger like myself and yourself before we've spoken on here, but we've still got, as we said at the start, we've still got that connection that,
of course,
civvies won't. A lot of times, civvies don't understand. How can you take the piss out of someone all the time and still call them your brother?
Yeah.
Like, well,
yeah,
because that's what we do.
Yeah. No, that's right, and that's normal, and and money can't buy that stuff. So it's again part and parcel of what we're doing is to try and encourage people to recognise that, encourage people to see the strength in that, encourage people to to always go, again, it sounds a bit cliche, but to always go veteran first, and if you, from a personal perspective, if you can find that within the Veterans Can community, well, then that's that's a win-win.
Oh, definitely. And on the plus side, my battery is actually going up now, so
perfect.
we got a winner. A second ago it went down to 2 and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, look out, tweaking.
And now it's now up to 4, so
happy days.
Something wrong with that plug. So I noticed something actually on the old website about something that's happening in Christmas. you might be able to share a bit more light on it. Veterans Can Christmas. There we go.
Yeah, so again, a lot of what we do is around that sort of celebrating veteranism, as I call it. Probably a
Yeah,
made
yeah.
up word, but why can't you make
Why
them
not?
up?
You make up a word.
It's about celebrating. It's about actually being proud of the fact that you are a veteran. You used to be in the military. Being proud of the fact that you've got this family or this community that's got your back. Being proud of the stuff that you've done because of what you used to do. And we get together periodically, whether that's, regional members that run their own event and they badge it, and we can provide a bit of funding support, we can provide a bit of advertising and connect that and say, right, go up and run an event in Halifax or wherever and say, right, this is our local. And then we'll put together bigger events. So the event at Christmas is the sort of end of year Christmas do really. We've got Liz McConaughey talking, the chinny chick, who's
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
magic. I don't know if you come across Liz, but
Oh, she's been on
she's
the
good.
show.
She's on our board.
Yeah.
She's great value. So she's going to give her talk or give her sort of share her story there, which is magic.
Oh,
And we've got a great venue, which again another member works there and has sort of freed up the venue for us, right in the middle of London. It's a mess or a club or whatever you want to call it. So again, it's pretty exclusive. It's pretty cool. Powder Monkey, the brewery, will send up some beer. We'll get a couple of pie and chips, and it'll be pretty relaxed. But again, it's about getting people there, getting people to have a conversation in a relaxed environment, listen to Liz's story, meet and greet people, and it's for us as a chance to say thanks for people that are committed and and become part of what we've built. So yeah, we've got
lovely.
lots of stuff going on.
Lovely.
Fundraising events and all sorts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely something that I'm gonna go down the avenue with as well, especially you may have seen on my other social medias that I've got. I also run FC Granite Zero, which is a charity football team.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm always looking for um sponsors or people that want to give auction prizes and etc etc etc. List can go on. And it's, as you probably know from starting the app, it's hard at times to try and ask people for things when
Yeah.
you're not in that sort of nature, you could say.
Yeah.
And I for one, I'm a bad for it. I'm not very good at asking for help either, which is probably some of my problems in the past. Was I wouldn't ask for help. It was like when I first did the first event, I was stressed to the max because I was doing it all myself. Trying to organise getting Spurs legends down,
Yeah.
trying to organise getting the pitch, the kit, raffle prizes, making sure we have a venue for after the game to celebrate in and all that sort of stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is mental.
Yeah.
It's getting easier and easier the more I do it. But having something like Veterans Can to advertise on as well and say, look, we've got this game coming up. Coming down and watch. We got a couple in the pipeline for next year. Nothing set in stone yet. The team we recently beat from Hereford, we've got a rematch against them. It's 1-1 now, so they beat us back there. We beat them here, so it's we got to make sure we smash them again.
The bloke who runs a veteran football match in Crowborough as well. I can't remember his name. Matt,
Yeah,
but not Matt.
there's a couple floating about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We did a bit of sponsorship with JobOppO stuff with him a little while ago, but yeah, I forget his name now. He works in Sevenoaks.
Oh,
But yeah, mate, if I can help advertise it or we can help get
oh yeah.
involved,
I'll be
very
uh,
happy
I'll
to.
be I'll be picking your brain for sure because
Cool.
you know that's what we do, and the same goes. So what I'm gonna add to the end of my podcasts when I do my ads, you could say. So I have Kent CBD, which is a local one that have supported me from pretty much when I started.
Yeah.
HR4 K from back home, because I
Yeah.
wear a lot of their stuff. They gave me a little promo code, and if people buy items from there using my promo code, I get a little bit of a discount. But what I'm
Yeah,
going to do, I'm going to shove the link for Veterans Can as well at the
yeah,
end,
brilliant.
and that will be on every show as well.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate that. Thanks, mate.
Just to get some eyes on,
Yeah,
which, as much as I try and stay quite broad with my podcast, I do tend to sway towards the veteran community.
fair
It,
enough, isn't it?
it's just how it is.
Yeah,
It's like I
that's it.
said last week, and as the show is continuing, along this line of Veterans Can, it's because we have, as we keep saying, that link. The conversation seems to flow more, and whether it's going through past experiences of, and it doesn't matter if you joined up in 1992 or whenever, and I joined up in 2008. We'll still have very similar experiences, especially through basic training and things like that. Yeah, back in the day, it was probably a million times harder, getting shouted at and things thrown at you. But we still have that level of respect and what have you, and it just even flows. I even had a guest that actually came up as a year to the day, I believe I had him on, and it's a quite a famous cut man from boxing, Stitch Duran, his name,
Right.
and I didn't know until he started talking on the podcast that he's actually ex US Air Force. So,
Okay.
and it was, oh, fucking hell, we've got a connection. It was mad.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I'm a veteran too. It's like, Jesus Christ, you're
Yeah.
sticking around. You've helped Mike Tyson, you've helped Tyson Fury, all for all
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
things. And it's like, and you're sat chatting to me, who at the time was in a shed. It's mental. Um,
Yeah, that's good. And it's that, it's an instant leveler as well, isn't it? And an icebreaker and all these other bits, and I think that, I guess it's perhaps because it's the world I live in, but I'll always look to see if someone served, particularly, if it's an older bloke. And I think that's that natural affinity. And it's magic when you look at the Veteran Can community. I think our eldest veteran in there is 82. And I don't know who the youngest one is, but I know we got some young lads who haven't long left. And you put them in a room and they'll just have a chat about stuff. They'll tell each other stories and not listen to each other. And again, that's what we do, right?
yeah, exactly. No, I switched off at banana, mate. I'm not gonna. No, it's yeah, spot on. And yeah, it's great. I love it. Genuinely, I love it. Some of the best conversations I've had still to this day are with service persons. So if anyone's actually out there listening, as I always joke, my two listeners that I've got, nah, joking. Jokes aside, I'm happy to have any veteran or any person on, really, because a lot of people will go, well, what am I going to talk about? Why would you want to interview me? Well, everyone's got a story.
Yeah, of course.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's because of the sort of creature we are. Not many people like to. Or the irony is, lots of people like to tell their story, but actually, not many people like to go off and stick their head above the parapet and actually, it's only when you've probably done the same. And I sat down and think, fuck, I've done some pretty good shit, during my life, and actually, most of that was in uniform, and you forget how abnormal that is to the rest of the world. And
Yeah.
actually, when you sit down and tell a normal human being the stuff you've done, the places you've been, and the things you've seen, um, then there's no wonder they look at you and think, oh shit, what I've done is spreadsheets for 12 years or whatever.
Yeah. I had one of the cleaners at work, actually, very similar. He he came into the manager's office where I am, and on my notice board I've got a number of different photos, and I got a couple from service, and one of them is just before a patrol out in our AO in Kandahar. And the task was we would be heli lifted in, get out, and then foot patrol all the way back in. And the picture is me and basically my fire team about to board the Black Hawk. And this lad,
Mm.
he came up to me and he was like, "I just saw your photo in your office." He went, "What was it like on a Black Hawk?" And I was like, "Where was that?" It's like that's not actually normal to people, is it? Yeah, it was nice. They're actually slightly bigger than you think they are. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, I got a bit arsy.
Yeah,
The pilot was a bit of a dickhead, but it's it's yeah. But
yeah,
yeah, he keeps asking me random questions. I think he does a lot of research and things, and keeps asking me about
right.
Maddie and things. And I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't there. I was in Basra. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, I don't know how many times you keep asking me this.
that's right.
I haven't been, mate.
Yeah,
But but yeah, I think some people get quite fascinated by it. My brother is one as well.
yeah,
Unfortunately, my brother always uh, sort of jokes to say that he would have made a good soldier, but because of his asthma, he never made it. Um, and he's more
yeah,
into aircraft than I ever was, even though I served in the Air Force. And
yeah,
he's constantly like, obviously, being from Hereford, we get certain aircraft fly over quite regularly during training time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and he's like, and he'll send me a photo going, "Oh, it's busy in the skies tonight." It's like, gee, I don't care.
Otter. Yeah,
It's like, cheers for that. I lived on an air base for 5 years,
yeah,
mate.
yeah. That's magic. It's good stuff.
Yeah, and it's crazy when if you go online and whatnot, and you see civilians get worked up when they see like a convoy of military vehicles going down the motorway. They're like, "Oh, it's all kicking off. The army are
Yeah,
here." They're probably just going on exercise, mate. What
yeah.
are you talking about?
On maneuvers. Yeah, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm.
Magic.
But anyway, I won't take up any more of your time. We've managed to fix the technical issues and get
Yeah, thanks, mate.
to
Well,
chat.
hopefully you can polish some turds and
Oh
and
yeah,
make sense.
it will it will just have ended and then started again basically. So yeah, I'll
Cool.
I'll work my
Good.
magic and make it as seamless as possible. But no, I appreciate
Seamless. All right, mate. Well, listen, thanks. Yeah, well, thanks very much for getting me on. Thanks very much for being part of the gang. You know, it's good to have you on board. It's good to know that you're saying good stuff and doing good stuff. And yeah, please keep doing that. It's magic.
I appreciate it. And hopefully by the next time I'll have the garage all sorted and it'll be an
That's it.
in-person hobby and we'll share a few beers or two.
I'll bring them over. All right, bud. You
Yeah.
look after yourself.
And you stay classy.
Cheers, Sean.
Dave.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
See
Very
you, mate.
much. Now it's time for a couple of adverts. Now, as you know, I'm a huge advocate for mental health and getting the right sort of treatment for you. For me personally, I use CBD. Now, CBD is scientifically proven to help with all manner of mental health issues, from depression, anxiety, PTSD, sleeping disorders, eating disorders. The list literally goes on. But not only that, it helps with aches and pains in your muscles and joints. And it really does help no end. I use it. I use the oil specifically before I go to sleep to help me relax, get a good night's sleep, and help the cogs turn. Better night's sleep, wake up refreshed, feeling happy, feeling better. And it really helps that cycle for your mental health. Personally, I use a local source CBD, Kent CBD. Put in the promo code Granite Zero at checkout and get yourself 10% off. While you're shopping, right, make sure you go and see HR4 K. Now, HR4 K have made us affiliates. I wear their branding. As a Hereford boy, I've got to represent HR4 K and Hereford because it's got to be done. Now, not only that, they're a veteran-owned company that help support endless endeavors from fellow veterans. Put in a promo code Granite Zero, all one word, at checkout, 10% off. You can get merch like this fucking Ali t-shirt, this hat. The list goes on and on and on. Genuinely.
fantastic products, fantastic people, and veteran-owned company. And on that note, speaking of veteran-owned companies, veteran-owned endeavors, make sure you check out Veterans Can, like so. Veterans can. Veterans can do anything, and this proves it. So follow the link. You can go via the QR code, like so. Type it in on any search engine, any social media. Veterans Can. Support our veterans and, you know, help them grow into massive businesses, podcasts. The list is endless and the support is needed. Veterans supporting veterans. Let's do it. Have your say. Veterans Can. Check it out. Hit that QR code. Get yourself a challenge coin. Pass it on. Let's go.